Time now for Consumer Confidential with KTLA's David Lazarus.
He joins us live, and Laz, not surprisingly, stocks are reacting to Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. What's going on?
Yeah, and the sell-off that you referred to from Friday, that was nearly 1,000 points on the Dow. It was a big, ugly day. Today, all eyes were whether the Dow would bounce back, and for most of the morning it didn't. It was down by 500 points at one point. The concerns were the spread of COVID in China, which looks like it's going to be a big deal, and also questions about how corporate earnings would fare with rising inflation. But then the takeover of Twitter by Elon Musk was announced, and that was like a shot of adrenaline right out of Pulp Fiction. And suddenly the market turned north, and as you noted, the Dow ended up more than 200 points higher. Twitter, for its part, up by nearly 6% today. So clearly the market not just dismissing that yet. We'll talk more about Twitter later on today. But for the market overall, well, it's a big day, obviously, because of Twitter. But keep an eye on other tech stocks this week. You've got Apple, Amazon, and the parents of both Google and Facebook reporting this week. A lot of people are wondering how they're doing amidst rising consumer prices and whether they can help signal whether we're coming out of the pandemic or whether the economy is facing future doldrums, especially with interest rates going up. Here's the big red flag, though, and that is Twitter reports its quarterly earnings on Thursday. Now, they'll need to do that. They are still a public company until Elon Musk takes them private, so they need to bring that out. But will they hold the customary call with shareholders afterwards and, explain things? Or will they back off from that so that they don't get in the way of their new owners' messaging? Some reports I'm seeing say that they're already thinking about canceling that Thursday phone call. So that'll be interesting to watch as well. Obviously, they don't want to do anything that will step on Elon Musk's feet at this point, at least until the deal is finalized.
All right, Laz, I didn't even realize there were still JCPenney's out there. I thought those had all shut down. But now the owners of JCPenney might acquire Kohl's.
Yeah, you might be confusing Penny with Sears, which is, barely breathing anymore. I think there's only like one or two Sears outlets left. But yeah, JCPenney still going, but it's been struggling like every large retailer out there. But according to the New York Post, citing anonymous sources, the owners of JCPenney are going to make something close to an $8.6 billion offer for rival Kohl's. Hard to see the economics of this or the rationale because both Penny and Kohl's have been struggling throughout the pandemic. Both brands are kind of tarnished and don't have a lot of upside. So to be valuing Kohl's at over $8 billion, what's up with that? Well, here's what might be up with that. One of the owners of Penny is now mall owner Simon Property, which might be freaking out by the idea that companies like Penny and Kohl's could be closing, which would be devastating for its mall properties. So it's possible they're doing what they can to buttress the companies to protect the malls. That might be one of the plays here. So far, reports say that if a deal was made, they would still keep the two companies as different brands. So from a mall point of view, that's good. On the other hand, it's rumored that there would be aggressive cutbacks to both staffing and spending at both Penny and Kohl's to try to make them more competitive. But in a world dominated by Amazon, Walmart, and Target, cutbacks are not going to be a selling point to consumers.
Yeah, I was going to say they need to up their social media presence for sure.
Yeah, and
they could buy Twitter.
Yeah, right. And also, when you're talking about these tech giants, so let's talk about Meta, which still blows my mind. It doesn't surprise me, when you consider they have things like concerts and all other types of things in the metaverse, that they now might have a Meta store. Tell us about it.
Yeah. But it's not going to be a metaverse store. It's going to be a real world store. What makes this interesting here is that Facebook's parent, Meta, is going to open its first retail store ever. We've seen Apple stores, we've seen Microsoft stores, but now a Meta store. But don't expect to just pop over to the mall and check it out anytime soon. There's only going to be one, at least at first, and it's not going to be around here. It'll be up at the Burlingame Facebook campus. That's up in Northern California. And there will be a single store where people can come and check out Meta's virtual reality headsets. Now, this is pivotal for Facebook and Meta because in promoting the metaverse, think of the metaverse as basically the World Wide Web, but on steroids. You're wearing a virtual reality headset. You're navigating it as if it was a video game or a cartoon. So they need to get widespread adoption of VR technology for that. And so far, not a lot of people have virtual reality headsets. So this is a way to let people play with it, see what the metaverse could be, and then buy into the technology. However, a couple of caveats here. First of all, one store does not make widespread adoption. You would really need to get these things out much farther and wider so that people can play with this technology. Second, as somebody who gets sick on boats and has tried virtual reality, let me tell you right now, before you put on the headset, take a Dramamine. Back to you guys.
I can't even try.
Thank you, Laz. And I'm glad Lupin the cat is back in his place behind you.